What's up, Mind Bombers? This is Dr. Jones in my virtual reality character, and today we're breaking down a book that I first heard about from Mr. Earl Nightingale many years ago. It's Viktor Frankl's book, Man's Search for Meaning. We're going to break it down into three simple steps, three simple, humongous steps to help you on this journey of life. These ideas will help you find and activate your purpose in life. There's going to be value bombs left and right, whoosh, whoosh, left and right, and they're about to hit hard, my friend. Are you ready for this? Are you ready to do this? Because I am. Let's do it. Now let's talk about this amazing dude, this amazing guy. Mr. Viktor Frankl was a Holocaust survivor born in 1905. He founded the School of Logotherapy, a school of psychotherapy that describes the search for life's meaning as its central human motivational force. He wrote this life question-inducing book only 9 days after his liberation from the Holocaust. Man, that's crazy! The book was originally titled with a different name. It was called A Psychologist Experiences the Concentration Camp, and it was done in German. That was translated to English as Man's Search for Meaning. The book touches on some incredible things, some amazing practices that will challenge you in a good way. Let's start with something that seems like it should be obvious, but it sneaks by most people. It does. It's sneaky. It's a sneaky little guy. You know what that is? That's right, our attitude. Step one is our attitude. Yep, step one is this. Attitude is a choice. That's how it is. It's a choice. Brother, listen to this quote from Mr. Viktor Frankl himself. The man himself. I'm just going to read some notes I got written on my hand here. Don't mind the hand. Everything can be taken from a man, but one thing. The last of the human freedoms. To choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances. To choose one's own way. Woo! Give it to me. Isn't that good stuff? Come on. I've said it before here, and this is just more confirmation. Napoleon Hill made this point many years ago, that your mind is the one thing that you have complete and total control over. This message is at the heart of this book and Mr. Viktor's philosophy. Mr. Jim Rohn always said you need to find yourself a philosophy, part of the success equation. Listen, you are the drivers of the seat of life, and the steering wheel is your attitude. Let that sink in. It's your reaction to what's going on directly in front of you. The way you think in response to a dilemma. It steers you when you come to a fork in the road and paves the way for future success. What I'm saying is that it's important. It really is important. This isn't the first book to say this, and it's not going to be the last. But this one should command respect because this man saw the horrors of Nazi Germany. Think about this. Think about what kind of attitude you would have if you saw yourself sitting in the Auschwitz camp. Listen, I'm going to read some facts from my notes in my hand. I'm going to read some facts. His dad died from starvation and pneumonia. His mother and his brother were gassed to death in the camp, and his wife died from typhus, which is a disease that you catch from lice, from rats, from infestation, basically, in those terrible war conditions. He spent 3 of 4 years in concentration camps dealing with these terrible things. Yet after all this, he made a choice about his attitude. What? He made a choice on how he presented himself to the world. Listen, we're going to dive into some more quotes directly from this man, from the book, Man's Search for Meaning. This is so good. Just check this out. It did not really matter what we expected from life, but rather what life expected from us. We needed to stop asking about the meaning of life, instead to think of ourselves as those who were being questioned by life, daily and hourly. Our answer must consist not in talk and meditation, but in right action and in right conduct. Life ultimately means taking the responsibility to find the right answer to its problems and to fulfill the task which it constantly sets for each individual. Oh my gosh, that's good stuff. Brother or sister, man, let's be honest. My attitude for life would not be as good as this man. After all that, it just wouldn't. Seriously, what's the worst thing you're dealing with today? Did you go through years in a concentration camp? Did you lose your family members to gas chambers? You might be dealing with some things that are hard like Viktor did, but you can make that choice to take control of your mind just like he did. Everyone's going through something different. Some are lighter, some are heavier than others, but we're all going through something different. It's still a choice. That said, it doesn't make it easy, does it? Playing that victim to what life decides to throw at you is much easier than roping in your attitude to one of gratitude during life's hardest circumstances. I'm telling you, I'm just saying, this, my friends, is the fork in the road. If you decide to take the narrow path of controlling your attitude for the better, This road leads to personal development beyond the norm. This road is what will lead one man to advance higher in life than the next. But few are those who will take control like this. Not you though, right? Not you though. You're smarter than that, stronger than those other people. Us mind bombers, we got this. This choice of attitude forces us into the next point, which is this. 2. Your real potential. Let's hit another quote from Mr. Frankl. The meaning of our existence is not invented by ourselves, but rather detected. Did you hear that? Did you hear that? That's crazy. That's crazy. Oh my gosh. Come on. Come on. I mean, whoa. That small sentence dropped a huge mind bomb. Did you catch it? Your purpose is not something you pull out of thin air. It's not randomly generated from nothing. It already exists. Which means what, class? That's right. It's your job to find it. You. If your purpose is not invented, but detected, that means it's just waiting for your discovery. It sits there silently, waiting and anticipating you. It wants you to find it. It wants to scream out and say, hey, over here. Come on, this is why you're here. But it doesn't do that, does it? It's not allowed to do that. God himself designed us that way. You must use the energy yourself and discover it. A treasure buried in the sand needs someone to dig it up. You gotta find it and remove it to be of any use. Otherwise it just sits in the sand. I ain't no poet, so let's hear more of Mr. Viktor Frankl. Listen to this. What man actually needs is not a tensionless state, but rather the striving and struggling for some goal worthy of him. What he needs is not the discharge of tension at any cost, but the call of a potential meaning waiting to be fulfilled by him. Woo! Come on now. Don't live in a tensionless state, spending the majority of your time in the TikToks or the YouTubes. Come on, man. Gaming all day on the newest DLC is not your purpose in life. I know, it's fun. I do it. But it's not your purpose. So what is your purpose? Your purpose is, as Earl Nightingale puts it, the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. It's you finding your God-given why in this old world, and then doing something about it. It sounds so simple, doesn't it? Maintaining your attitude keeps your mind open to receive the clues as to what this is for you personally. But it's up to you to do the legwork. It's up to you to figure it out for yourself. My purpose for living will be different from your purpose for living. We're not the same. There is no my purpose is greater than your purpose. There is only you with an open heart and a right attitude searching to detect what your reason for living is. Here's a clue for you. Your purpose will serve others. Man's search for meaning is not of ourselves, but what we bring with our unique talents and abilities for the good of humanity. Again, 'tis how God made us. There's a greatness in you because of divine design, and don't you ever forget it. So what's your goal? What is your worthy ideal that you're working towards right now? This is where you ask yourself some validating questions like, if you could get paid to do anything, what would it be? Or, if you could spend a day doing whatever you want with no worry of money or time commitment, what would you fill your time with? Or, if success were guaranteed, what would you do? Woo, there's some hard questions. These are some hard questions. Ask away and answer questions like these. That'll help you find that worthy ideal, that worthwhile goal. You have great potential, and you need to figure out what that purpose is to really find a goal worthy of that potential of yours. Let's move on to number 3, which is ensuing and pursuing. Here's another fantastic quote from the man himself. Thus, ultimately, man should not ask what the meaning of life is, but rather must recognize that it is he who is asked. In a word, each man is questioned by life, and only he can answer to life by answering for his own life. To life, he can only respond by being responsible. Listen, the logotherapy in the book says that it, quote, considers man as a being whose main concern consists in fulfilling a meaning and in actualizing values, rather than in the mere gratification and satisfaction of drives and instincts. You see what he did there? This is the difference between getting satisfaction versus actualizing values. We're getting some deep stuff. We're getting some deep stuff here. Follow your instincts to find your meaning. Explore your hunches and your gut feelings to see what they lead to. Be curious. Be open. Being open to discovery is the only way to find something. Ask more questions like, how can you serve others around you? How can you give to this world using your unique strengths and gifts? Listen to your answers. Follow those instincts about those answers. Keep moving forward, as Mr. Walt Disney put it. Be curious and keep going with an open mind to exploring those capabilities. Let yourself ensue, which is different than trying to pursue. Stop focusing on you and what you can get and instead ask what you can give. In the book The Go-Giver, it tells us to do just that. Giving really is better than receiving. It's a proven fact. A lot of people seem to miss that today. Today, most people are self-absorbed. They're fully aware of their own need rather than carrying the needs of others. Let's listen to more insights from Mr. Vic. Listen, I therefore admonish my students in Europe and America. Don't aim at success. The more you aim at it and make it a target, the more you're going to miss it. For success, like happiness, cannot be pursued. It must ensue. And it only does so as the unintended side effect of one's personal dedication to a cause greater than oneself, or as the byproduct of one's surrender to a person other than oneself. Happiness must happen. And the same holds for success. You have to let it happen by not caring about it. I want you to listen to what your conscience commands you to do and go on and carry it out to the best of your knowledge. Then you will live to see that in the long run I say, success will follow you precisely because you had forgotten to think about it. Oh man, let's unpack this. This is so interesting. I've heard it said before by other great men before me. Success is a byproduct of your purpose. Let that sink in. I keep coming back to Mr. Earl Nightingale, who likened this to someone stating, first give me heat and then I'll add the wood. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't work that way. Don't search for success first. That's the heat. That's a self-centered way of thinking. Search for the meaning first, and success will surely follow. It's interesting that the more you give of yourself to the world, the more the world seems to return to you. It's just like the law of sowing and reaping from the Bible. You plant the tiny seed, and then the plant, once fully grown, will be thousands of times what the seed is. You reap abundance of whatever you sow. If you sow the seed of giving your talents, your gifts, your strengths, giving of yourself, your thoughts, what will you get in return? In abundant. That really is the key here, is giving of yourself without caring what you get in return. Doing just to do it. Wow. That's a mind bomb right there if I ever heard one. Come on, man. In conclusion, here is the mission. Everyone has its own specific vocation or mission in life. Therein he cannot be replaced, nor can his life be repeated. Thus, everyone's task is as unique as is his specific opportunity to implement it. This guy just keeps dropping them. Listen, as Agmandino put it, only principles endure. And the principle here is that you have a specific mission in life. There is no one like you on the planet, and there will never be another like you. Not one. God is amazing like that. Even someone born with a twin will have a completely separate life and purpose than they will. Listen, so you must then find your meaning. If you don't, the world will miss out on what you specifically had to offer it. Time's not on your side either, is it? Time for finding and living that purpose is today, my friend. If you feel deep inside that you're not living to your true potential, maybe it's time to evaluate who you are, what you really should be doing with your life. Think about what you are here to do. Write it down. Live it out. It doesn't magically appear. You have to detect it, and you have to decide to live it. I can only present the information. What you do with it is up to you. As Charlie Tremendous Jones put it, you've heard it said you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. That's true, but what I'm doing is putting salt in his oats to make him thirsty enough to drink the water. Woo! Come on now. That last one is a paraphrase from an old speech I heard of Mr. Charlie Tremendous Jones. What a great guy. What a great Jones. Out of all the Joneses, what a great Jones. One more quick quote from Mr. Viktor Frankl to finish this whole thing. We're going to knock this whole thing out. What is to give light must endure burning. Yep, he was full of great insight. Make a choice today. Keep the right attitude with an open heart. Ask yourself questions about how you can use your gifts to benefit the world. Ensue your meaning. Find what it is and learn how you can live it. Only thing left once you find that worthy ideal, that purpose, is to endure to the end. Yes, light brings fire. Endure to the end. Be a light in a dark world, my friend. Listen, Matthew 5:14 in the Bible says you are a light to the world, a city on a hill. Let your light shine before men as you search and live out your meaning. I hope this has been an inspiration for you today. I hope you ask yourself some questions, some deep stuff that you can find your worthy ideal, that purpose, that meaning. What a great book. What a great man, Mr. Viktor Frankl. That's it for now, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you mind bombers have been touched by today. Do all the things to help a new channel. Like, subscribe, leave a comment, and go to themindbomb.com and get your freebies on. Like usual. That's it for today. I appreciate you for joining me. I love you guys. And until next time, this has been Dr. Jones, the Mind Bomber. See you around. Bye.